And Jesus said, "I tell you truly, this poor widow put in more than all the rest. For those others have all made offerings from their surplus wealth. But she, from her poverty, has offered her whole livelihood." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Today we hear that familiar story concerning the poor widow who puts in her whole livelihood, everything. She doesn't hold back and gives of herself, places her whole life in God's hands at that moment, in that treasury. Today's gospel is a reminder to us, I think, is that this story is really not simply about making sure that you are generous, that you're willing to sacrifice. We all kind of know that our lives does require us some sense of giving and sacrificing. It's part of discipleship, generosity. But what this gospel is trying to tell us is that often our generosity can be just extremely powerful when it's given even just the little that we have. That the little that we might have and we give and share and break can be a great and huge moment of relationship and deepening our relationship with God. And this is not simply about money. It's about those small things. In the eyes of the world, this generosity of this poor widow was overlooked. Except God could see the great generous moment of this poor widow in her smallness and in the little that she had to give. I often reminded of this gospel, especially I try to remind myself all the time that when I'm at Scooters and I'm at Hy-Vee, that maybe a little generosity as I approach that person who's serving me, to be generous. That's a small act of generosity, but it can mean such a great deal. It not only changes maybe the day of the person in which you are greeting, but it could also change your own day. You open up your own life to someone else. Do we acknowledge those who, in many ways, are the working poor who are around us, who continue to work throughout this pandemic? Have we bothered to say thank you? Have we even bothered to maybe even give a tip to the barista that often serves us every morning? Indeed, Jesus is saying that even the smallest amount of generosity is our way of not holding back, but giving our all to the body of Christ, to our brothers and sisters.